Hi guys, welcome back. It's Tommy with another Starcraft Remastered replay cast from the South Korean ladder 2024, and after so many flash replays I finally decided to cast a game with a known figure into the Protoss scene. It is of course Snow, who is actually considered to be the best Protoss right now. However, Rain also doing very well, so perhaps Rain in a much better shape now than Snow. We have spawning, however, here in the upper left part in the white. It is a Zerg with a AK. It is a good day to win for him and his opponent here in the lower right in the yellow. It is Snow with his AK, with his barcode, moving out very early here with his probe, already establishing a pylon into the front. So perhaps Snow is going to indicate to us that he is indeed going for a fast expansion build already. Seems to be a 2 spawning location map, as the game has been played in September, I believe. So still pretty recent replays here for you onto this channel. And interesting enough, the Zerg is deciding not to go for a hatchery first. He's actually going for a spawning pool first with an overlord, and very likely I believe he's going to continue with his extractor, as the probe is also moving out very early. So given the fact that it is a 2 spawning location map, Snow really wants to know what exactly the build order from the Zerg is going to be, especially when it's a fast spawning pool. He needs to have his defenses up and ready as he's going into a gateway. So no forge yet for him to go for the cannons. Already taking a little bit of damage, also dealing some damage towards this one drone, and just I believe he's going to try to delay the expansion as much as he can. Perhaps he's even going to build a pylon into this location. So quite a aggressive early move out here by him, trying to win as much time as he can, but Zerg bypassing this with a second drone. So a great initiation here by him, as now the probe will follow up here into the main just to see the timing and so on. Still no gas here for the Zerg. Let's check the main from Snow. More probes are getting produced. No gas for him, as his buildings are pretty much far out, and he's actually starting with a zealot, and the second zealot is also getting produced here by him. So Snow giving us so many hints that he really wants to be aggressive early on. He really wants to perhaps even be lucky and cancel this first expansion point. However, the drone is already taking, the probe is already taking quite some damage here, as in comes the first zealot, and he's very likely going to connect here with the probe very soon, dealing some good damage towards the Zergling. Nice stuff here by him, even delaying perhaps the other expansion point here for the Zerg. Remember, there's also a second zealot moving out here for him, but let's have a look exactly what his plans are. Perhaps he would try to hide a pylon into this location with a robotics facility bay. Could be a possibility here, of course, for Snow, as his expansion has also started with another pylon, and I believe he's going to try to wall off here very soon, as in comes the probe, and lots of more Zerglings are getting produced here for the Zerg. Even gas is getting mined for his Zerg speed, and there we have a nice hidden zealot right here. He could deal damage towards the expansion point, however the Zerglings are also very close by, so a good position here for this one zealot, a nicely found position here by Snow. However, in the end I believe he will of course be taken out. However, he will take 3 Zerglings at least with him. So a very nice move by Snow, sacrificing of course the zealot in order to win some time to see exactly what the strategy here from the opponent are. There we have the forge. First cannon is also getting produced. The wall off is pretty much shot here by Snow, as the overlords are also moving here forward for the Zerg to check out what exactly is into the main. There we have the Zerglings already attacking here the gateway. Snow just slowly but steadily moves here out. Still shuts the door, as the Zerglings do take some damage, and the cannon is about to get finished very soon. Into the main, only gas is getting now mined. We do have the cybernetic score here for him, as cannon has finished here, and more workers are getting produced here for Snow. I believe he's going to try to nicely block the entrance, even with a probe now, as he's moving out with quite a strong force, 4 zealots for him, and very soon he might try to attack the newly established point. Either this one or perhaps this one that is also not defended here by the Zerg. So lots of drones could be taken out. However, he decides to go for the newly established base here from the opponent. Only Zerglings here. Let's see what the Zerg is going to be doing. Quite a strong force, like I told you. It's 4 zealots. Might even try to snipe the hatchery as more Zerglings are coming here forward. In the end, I believe this is going to be defended by the Zerg. However, so many Zerglings have fallen. The Zealots also dropping really low, but in the end shields will be up very soon, as in come the Zerglings now trying to get a good surround versus the opponent. More Zealots are getting produced. We also have the Spire here getting produced. as Snow is nicely kiting those zealots back and forward. In the end, it will be cleared out, but so many Zerglings have been lost here. The Zerg, and in comes the scouting probe, sees the tier 2, sees the hidden spire in the back, so it is indeed going to be Mutalisk here for the opponent. So the immediate reaction, of course, by Snow is going to be a Stargate with the Corsairs, the perfect counter towards all of those Mutalisk in the air. And yeah, very nice early aggression, a nice abusive gameplay here by both players. In the end, things have settled down a little bit. Let's just see exactly what the Mutalisk can do here for the Zerg versus the defenses from Snow. He might even try to put some cannons into this location. Here we have the Citadel of Adun. We might even see some High Templars with Storm. Always a good idea versus the Zerg, as more and more pylons are getting added here by Snow. And Snow is of course expecting an attack as the first Corsair is getting built. The Spire still has to be finished. The economy is looking really good now for the Zerg. However, he needs more gas. Exactly why he's going into another extractor here to have that gas for the Mutalisk, or it could be Scourges for him versus the Corsair. We have the Templar Archive for the Protoss. Lots and lots of upgrades, even Weapons 1 upgrades, speed for the Zealots, Weapons 1. Many upgrades here indeed, as he's very lucky. He could be lucky to snap some overloads here with the Corsair, but he's just deciding to first scout the map to see exactly what the next steps from the Zerg are going to be. And it looks like a pretty heavily macro-oriented game here by the Zerg, so we might see a Zergling push with some Hydralisk. Let's just see if this is going to be indeed the strategy by the Zerg, as we have 3 macro hatches here for him finished. Quite an interesting build order here for the Zerg, as even more and more drones are getting produced. So really the Spire is just being made to have the Scourges, as we do have the Dark Templars now getting produced here for Snow, as he's now going to park his Corsair into this location, expecting of course an attack. Even the Zealots are moving here back. So let's see what those Dark Templars can do. Perhaps a robotics facility bay will also be built to have a shuttle or 2 for those units. And let's have a look how the game is going to continue, as all of a sudden Snow decides to play it more defensively, adding more pylons. More gateways are also being added, so we might see indeed some High Templar Storms to kill the splash, the much needed splash damage against the Zerg swarm, as we do see now Mutalisk with Zerglings. Hydralisk will also be added very soon by him, I believe, as I still don't see a Hydralisk. Then perhaps it's hidden right here. No, it's just an evolution chamber. So very interesting strategy here by the Zerg, deciding to actually go Mutalisk with Scourges versus the Corsairs. No Hydralisk for him. And the first High Templars are of course getting produced by Snow, as in comes the move out with just a couple of Mutalisk. However, speed has been done for the Zealots. In comes the attack. The Archon, of course, the perfect counter towards all of those Mutalisk in the air. The splash damage of the Archon is really strong, and those Dark Templars have indeed been transferred towards the Archon. We even see armor getting done here for Snow, so Snow giving great importance towards all of those upgrades. And now the Mutalisk will of course stand no chance against so many Corsairs, but however, in come the Scourges. The Archon is nicely attacking them, and in the end some connections have been made. A great micro here by Snow, trying as of course to kite those Corsairs back and forward, and the Archon here also dealing some great damage with 3 kills. He might even get another kill here, as the Zerg is going to be supply blocked. And in comes the attack once again. The Zerg really needs some anti-air. There's massive amounts of Scourges, but the Archon will of course be able to take down some of them. So very great counter to have against the air units. I believe Snow could even take out those units here, but let's just see how he's going to continue here forward. A nice SimCity build order here by him, as he just blocked here the entrance with the Sunkens behind. So very hard here for Snow to push forward. We even have more energy. Actually, it's the Dragoon range here, so perhaps we will see a transition by Snow into more Dragoons with Zealots for him. As this Archon still dealing so much damage. 6 kills already for him. Always a great unit to have versus the air units from the Zerg. So Snow settling down a little bit, deciding to defend. Weapons 1, I believe, is of course done. There we have the speed for the Hydralisk. Some upgrades for the Hydralisk, movement speed for the Zerg, as we have passed the 10-minute mark. So still an interesting game, still anyone's game of course. Let's see how the game is going to continue here, as more units are getting thrown out here from the Zerg towards the main from the Snow, and there we have a great storm now, lots and lots of splash damage. So great connection here by Snow, showing how great his skills are. But there's still so many scourges here in the air, as Snow tries of course to out micro them, tries of course to kite the units back and forward, and yeah, still dealing some great amounts of damage towards the units. So what a great micro indeed here by Snow. He just needs to be careful, trying of course to just micro one Corsair and the other group, but yeah, still some connections will be made here, as it's a nice air fight here by both players. However, the Scourges getting more and more closer here towards the enemy, and a great spread indeed by the Zerg, but still some good connections, as I believe in the end the Corsairs will be able to take the upper hand. The Mutalisks are taking more and more damage, however those Scourges dealing some good amount of damage, and in the end the Mutalisks somehow survive here with very low HP, but still a good micro here by both players. As we might see, straight transition here by Snow into mass gateway units with Dragoons, with Zealots, and with those Archons of course, very strong. High Templar still being left behind in order to get more and more energy for those important High Templar storms. And then later on Archons. See how the game is going to continue. We might see a drop attempt here by the Zerg. It's moving out now with some Overlords, and I believe Snow is going to secure his other expansion point into this location. So very great game, lots and lots of units here for the Zerg. At the same can be said here for Snow, who is at 138 supply. Lots and lots of workers here for the Zerg, so his economy is looking really strong, as he's going into more and more Hydralisk, and now even having more and more Mutalisk in the air. Perhaps he's going to be going for some Guardians. It would be of course great to have Guardians against the ground forces here by Snow. In the meantime, we see Snow actually moving out, perhaps trying to secure another expansion point into this location. Let's see if this is indeed going to be his plan. What exactly is he doing? Just spreading his units right now, waiting of course for the Nexus and for the cannons to finish in order to have the protection. But hold on, actually the Zerg is moving here forward with his units, lots and lots of Hydras. They will of course be very good versus the Zealots. Still the Archon in the back is the real damage dealer. Finally it has been taken out, and with that one Zealot after the other is also going to be taken out. So even the Mutalisks are moving here forward to deal damage towards the remaining units from Snow. Snow had of course to stay to hold his position, and yeah, now he's moving out with his Dragoons and with his outer forces, still having a great amount of supply. And of course the important units need to be protected here by him, as the Mutalisks might try to be lucky to snipe one High Templar or two. And now even going forward towards this one expansion right here, Snow opting to actually be more aggressive, going to try very likely a flank forward here, but there's so many Overlords onto the so many Overlords here into the air, so much vision here for the Zerg, as even some drones have been pulled here forward by the Zerg. Perhaps a misclick by him. So many units by him, a great mix of units, as he's slowly but steadily closing towards being maxed out. So finally he realizes this as he's sending out his drones towards the newly established base here into this location. So very interesting macro game here by both players. Still anyone's game. We do see Lurkers getting hatched. I believe I didn't see a observer here for Snow, interesting enough, so this could be quite deadly, as the Lurkers will of course be able to deal so much splash damage onto the ground versus Snow's units. Let's have a look into his main. Is there an observatory somewhere? Only now is getting produced, so very late observatory indeed here for Snow, as the Lurkers have already hatched here, so he needs to hurry up with this one observer to defend this location right here. He's stepping of course a little bit forward in order to intercept the incoming Lurkers by the opponent, and very soon his observer is going to move here forward, as the middle of the map is pretty much in control here by the Zerg. And yeah, the game continues. Quite interesting stuff here happening, as the Zerg is taking yet another expansion here. The Zealots are dealing some damage towards the Zerglings, but the real damage is of course going to happen here into the middle of the map. Lots and lots of Hydralisk indeed here for this Zerg. A great mix of units, Scourges, even Lurkers, everything is here for him, as also a good mix by the Protoss by him. Let's have a look at his upgrades. 2 and 2 armor, very good upgrades here for him. Only 1 weapons upgrade here for the Zerg. Let's just see who is going to be the one attacking first. Perhaps Snow is also going for his shield upgrades. Yes, indeed, that's exactly what he's doing. So many upgrades here for him, as it's still a stalemate here. Very hard to penetrate here forward by the Protoss, by Snow, has so many lurkers on the ground. Let's see, we do have some movement here. Perhaps Snow is going to wait for his other upgrades to finish here, as more and more high temperatures are getting produced, but in the end he is getting close to being maxed out, as he's now dealing some good damage towards the units here from the Zerg. So we might see the first terms happening here very soon. So the Zerglings will of course be sacrificed. A good storm here versus the lurkers. The Zealots are in the front, as we do have the first engagement. So Snow being the one doing the first step here forward, deciding to sacrifice some units, given the fact that he was maxed out. But there's also many workers here for the Zerg, so he can replenish those forces very soon. His economy is looking really good. So does the economy here from the Protoss, but in the end there's just seems to be so much Zerg here, and so many Zerglings are following up here. Still interesting enough, no Dark Swarm for the Zerg. It's just sheer mass for him, perhaps with a little bit of a miss micro here, but finally get some good connections. At the same time, we do see a movement out here by Snow once again, with Mass Dragoons, with the Zealots in the front, giving some cover. So it's a double attack here, left and right. A very nice game here indeed. We have in between the two pros. The Zealots on hold position just to guard the Dragoons and the High Templars in the back. Quite interesting micro here by Snow, as the other units are of course be able to take the other position there, as some Hydras will take actually so much splash damage here out of the High Templars. So a great usage here by High Templars here by Snow. So once again, in come the High Risk, of course, standing no chance, and he even has to storm his own units here in order to take care of the Mutalisk. So a great stuff here by Snow. But now we do even have the Defilers onto the place. We do have another expansion here into this location. So the forces of the Zerg, like I told you, will be able to replenish really fast. He's at 120 supply, as his reinforcements are moving here forward. And Snow not having so much energy being left here onto his units, as the Zerglings will be once again sacrificed for the Zerg. The Defiler is here, so Dark Swarm is once again going to be much needed. And there we go, the Dark Swarm of course very strong. Only the Zealots will be able to deal some damage, as the Archons are also here in the front to deal a good amount of damage, as there's so much Zerg still being left alive here. And slowly but steadily Snow is losing more and more units. So nice Dark Swarms versus High Templar Storms here onto this map. So very interesting engagement here, as more and more damage is being taken left and right. Snow, however, is still maxed out, is still holding on. His economy is looking really strong, as his upgrades also very valuable here for him, as he's able to take out more and more units here from the Zerg. So yeah, some reinforcements do pull here forward for the Zerg, as slowly but steadily we close indeed towards the 20-minute mark. So very interesting game indeed. Still a nice back and forward game, but it seems like Snow has the advantage here. He has more supply than his opponent. His High Templar Storms are really strong. Those Archons also dealing so much splash damage. However, economic wise, the Zerg is also looking very strong, as he's now dropping below 100 of a supply, but his economy is also looking very strong, as he slowly but steadily is pushing Snow back here. So good stuff here by both players. Great connection by the Storms once again here by Snow. Still the Lurkers are being left alive. Finally 2 are getting sniped, but yeah, immediately reinforcements do arrive here towards the front, as there are so many hatcheries available here for the Zerg. Yeah, more and more units arrive immediately. Let's just check the upgrades very quickly. 1 to 2 upgrades versus, I believe, shield has been done here. So great upgrades here for Snow indeed, as more and more Zerglings are pouring here forward, getting sacrificed. The cannon should hold. There are some Zealots in the front here for Snow, as he's able to hold his position. At the same time, we do see a counter-attack with some Zealots here, so important move here by Snow, as the Zealots are moving here forward. Only one sunken here to defend. Some Zerglings do move here forward, but there's so many Zealots on the ground. We even have a Dark Swarm here available for the Zerg. Let's just see if it's going to be used, as now there's 2 fronts where they're fighting, and it looks like the Zealots still hold the ground here. He will very likely try to attack the economy from his opponent. He was going to try to snipe some drones here if he's going to be lucky, but in the end this will be cleared. So not really a good move here by Snow. He deals some damage. Some units have fallen here for the Zerg, as the real damage once again happening here into this location with so many Dragoons and so many zealots onto the ground. As he had massive amounts of storms have been casted here by Snow, as he's able to take out unit after unit here from the Zerg. So yeah, so much energy being left here for those High Templars. What a great unit to have for the Protoss here, as still another storm might get casted very soon. So much splash damage, and yeah, very hard here for the Zerg to defend versus such a strong unit. But yeah, let's just see how the game is going to continue. Still the economy is looking very strong for both players, as more and more Zerglings are getting brought here forward, protected by the Dark Swarm, and even Plague is now being used by the Zerg. So nice mix of usage here for the Defiler. In the end, some Defilers will fall here, as the Lurker will also take some damage out of those High Templars once again. Damage left and right, so much splash damage being taken here by the Zerg, as those High Templars just attack and then move back forward to replenish their energy here, and Lurker after Lurker is getting sniped. However, now a strong army move here by the Zerg, as not all of those Lurkers are getting buried. So with that, I believe, yeah, the High Templars once again retreating back. It's a sheer mass unit of High Templars here for Snow. So look at that, so much splash damage. The Zerg will of course have very little chance here to move forward. More units are getting produced here by Snow. Same can be said of course by the Zerg, but he's still trailing behind, as he's trying of course a counter attack here towards this location. But we do have so many cannons here defending for Snow, and yeah, it's quite an interesting game. Still anyone's game, but the economy from the Zerg all of a sudden dropping really low. So yeah, those storms seems to be the winning move perhaps here for Snow, as he's able to deal so much damage towards the ground units from the opponent. We have Plague now, finally a good spell to have. Plague getting casted against all of those High Templars. High Templars are moving here forward, lots and lots of Lurkers getting hatched, and yeah, it's still very interesting to see who is going to be the victor of this game, as one lone Zergling might be able to snipe so many High Templars here. We have another Dark Swarm getting casted here by the Zerg, but the Zerg is dropping more and more into supply, and his economy all of a sudden really low versus the high amount here from Snow. So this seems like to have been the winning move here for Snow. Massive amounts of High Templar storms versus the opponent. The game has not ended yet. So many drones still available here for the Zerg, as no matter what he's throwing out towards Snow, it gets immediately destroyed by those High Templar storms. So the MVP here of this game, of course, the High Templars, with their casting ability, with the storm. Lots and lots of kills here for each High Templars, as of course the Zerglings are moving now forward, but of course no chance against the defensive High Templar storms here from Snow, as unit after unit is getting sniped here one after the other. And slowly but steadily the Zerg even dropping very close towards the 100 supply, and remember 77 supply is actually drones here for him, as Snow is still showing us how strong the High Templars can be versus the Zerg. Sheer amounts of High Templar, massive amounts of them. Very good unit to have indeed, and perhaps he's going to be going later into some Archons just to have more splash damage versus the opponent. So the game is slowly but steadily closing towards its end, but we do have so many High Templars here available for Snow, as he's just casting the storm and then retreating back to the security of those cannons. Look at that, massive, sheer massive amounts of High Templars here for him that are moving forward. So what a great unit indeed to have as a Protoss. And there we even have the GG here. So MVP of this game, of course, the High Templars with their storm ability. Very good indeed. Still lots and lots of energy being left here for them. And let's have a look what exactly the plans are. Perhaps he would have tried to go into Archons after this, but yeah, very nice defensive gameplay actually here for Snow. And having perhaps around 20 High Templars here, at least, what a great unit to have to counter the Zerg Swarm. I don't understand why many more Protosses don't go into more High Templar, massive amounts of High Templars, and in case there is no more energy, you can of course go for Archon. So instead of Reavers, it seems like High Templars the much better unit here to have versus the opponent. So yeah, very interesting game. I don't know who GOODDAYTOWIN is, but still a good game by him. However, no matter what he threw towards Stork immediately taking care of that with the High Templar storms, and also nicely defending with the Dragoons and the Zealots in the back. So yeah, very interesting game. I hope you guys enjoyed. This is Tommy signing out.